Here's a testimony. I remember a period in my life when everything was going right. I had shelter, I had food, I had everything. And in the daytime, I was talking to people and I was their mentor. I am this person, this voice of reason. But for some reason, it was a period for me of drought, I guess in my soul, I guess in my spirit, because something there was missing. And every night when I turned in, when the cameras were off, when everything was just silent, when it was only me and God, I felt alone. I felt as if no one else is in the world even caring for me right now. And I used to beat up on myself because I would say, my mind would go to, but you have everything. What is the matter with you? And I started to think, you know what? I probably need to start planting some new seeds. And let me tell you what happens when you do that. You're planting new seeds and you feel as if you're the only one and you have no idea what the soil is because you're not invested into it. You're just doing something because something feels missing. And until you get to the stage where you understand that you are not the only one who's taking this walk. And as a matter of fact, what I found out later on was that God wasn't even walking behind me. I wasn't walking in his footsteps. God was walking with me. He was carrying me because in every step and every decision that I made, there was God in it. And it's now that I think about it, I was like, how come I did not know that? But I was going through a period. See, when I decided to plant these seeds, I did it only on faith. And when it started to grow, I was so excited. I looked at it. I was like, yeah, how am I going to now prune these things because it's getting overgrown? And see, the problem I had was I was cutting off the branches. See, when you start to expand in this life, God always says to you, you have to start to prune these things. There are some things that you have to leave behind. You have to make some changes in your life. There's some habits that you're going to have to let go of. And God says, you know what? You're not doing this right. And I just got dismayed. I thought to myself, see, now there goes the tree. But what I didn't understand was God was telling me, girl, you're cutting the branches, but I want you to get down to the root and rip it out. And that's what happened. And in that moment, it was so quiet. It was so calm. And I felt as if I hit rock bottom again. And all of a sudden, when I opened my eyes, just on the whim of faith, it was a whim of faith, mustard seed of faith. And when I looked up, I realized, oh my God, that's all I needed to do all this time. I was pruning the edges. I was just picking the leaves. I was pruning those branches, but God wanted me to root it up. And then I realized I was not alone all this time. God had it planned out all this time. And look at this beautiful forest that God has created for me, where my heart is exactly where it needs to be. You don't stop. Never give up on faith. And those branches that you're pruning now, God says it is time to rip it out from the root.